A couple of days ago, I was looking back at the comment section on my Kiss video, and I usually like to go back to that comment section to laugh at the people who took that video completely seriously, and I also like to read through some of the arguments I had with some of the people who commented on that video who took it seriously. But I read through this one particular argument that I had with this person around a year ago, a pretty lengthy one, and I was mostly just fucking with the dude, and he was taking me completely seriously. I was calling his taste in music garbage, and then I was curious to see what kind of videos this person makes, if they make any videos at all, and I found this one really, really bad content cop ripoff or whatever the fuck. He made this video targeting some kid who was making Minecraft videos or whatever, and his prominent insult in the video was calling the kid autistic, and then I was watching the video. It was fucking terrible. There was like no actual constructive criticism in the video whatsoever. It was just calling the kid autistic, and that's it. And then I look in the comment section of that video, and the guy who made the video was bragging. He was like, "Oh, I got this kid to delete his channel as a result of this video." And I'm like, "What a major fucking asshole you are, targeting a fucking kid doing nothing but making Minecraft videos, harmless Minecraft videos. You make this video presumably to hurt the kid's feelings, and then you successfully do that, and then the kid deletes his channel." But it caused me to kind of reflect on myself and think back to how this was kind of me back in 2017. This not care attitude, this being an edge lord and not fucking caring how people felt about it. This complete disregard for how other people feel, almost complete disregard. And I watched my old follow up to my autism video that I made about 2 years ago, over 2 years ago actually. I made it back in early 2017. It was a follow up to some awful, awful video I made. It wasn't awful because of what exactly I said. It was awful because I was mumbling in the video, stuttering a lot, pausing a lot. And I really don't get why that video turned out so badly, because I look back at other 2015 videos I've made, and I didn't speak as bad as I did in that video. For some reason, I spoke really, really terrible in that video. But anyways, I deleted it because it was just so fucking bad, and I made a video following it up back in 2017, saying that I don't care about autism jokes now. Joke about autism all you want, and I did have some boundaries. I was like, well, if you do make fun of someone who actually does have autism and they are clearly bothered by it, then yeah, you're an asshole. So yeah, at least I held that stance back then. But now I don't really have the same edgy sense of humor that I did back then. If you could even really call that sense of humor. My sense of humor, quote unquote, back in 2017, back in my edgy days, if you consider it edgy, mainly consisted of just saying the N word, just for the sake of it. No real joke. Just saying it because I thought it was funny. It's funny to say that highly offensive word that a lot of people take offense to. And I used to be like, oh, it's just a word. Why do you care about it? I'm not. I'm poking fun at this word. I'm saying it as a joke. Completely disregarding how many people feel about the word. Disregarding the heavy racist history surrounding that word. I was just like, oh, just grow some balls, like Doug Walker in that stupid fucking Wall review. Oh, Roger Waters, you were abused as a child. Grow some balls. That was essentially me. Of course, I wasn't saying people who were abused should grow some balls. Rather, people who don't like hearing certain words because they find it deeply offensive should grow some balls. But it's basically the same idea. Taking something that people find deeply, deeply offensive and continually saying it to get a rise out of them. And it's always so funny whenever someone gets someone really pissed off when they end up getting punched or cursed out or anything, and then they act like the victim and they're like, why are you so mad? It's just a joke. Well, maybe they don't want to hear the fucking joke because they find it very, very offensive, and they don't like you continually repeating this word as a quote-unquote joke because they don't like lazy, edgy sense of humor. I know this kind of skewed away from autism, but it ties into the main central point I'm trying to make here. I don't really like making jokes like that anymore because I'm more aware of how people feel and how people could be offended by certain jokes that I may crack. Again, back in 2017, I used to not care about this at all. I used to be like, oh, if you get offended by a joke, tough shit. Who cares? Who cares about your fucking feelings? And if your feelings are hurt, well, quite frankly, fuck your feelings. I used to be a complete asshole when it came to that back then. And I'm really glad I'm not like that now. And I used to make autism joke after autism joke after autism joke, not only on this channel, and I even literally have a video called "The Sonic Fan Base is Autistic." I've been really debating on changing the name to that video for the longest time now. But anyways, I used to do it in real life too, and I had this friend. I still have this friend actually, who actually does have autism and likes to make autism jokes and make jokes at the expense of his own autism. I remember he would something stupid would go on in school back in high school, and he would be like, "Wow, that person's more autistic than I am," and we would laugh at that and stuff. And you know what? Maybe yeah, it's cool that he's able to joke about his own autism, but when I think of autism jokes, I think of it as just reinforcing the stereotype that autistic people are these people who do nothing but scream and act like morons, and overall are severely mentally disabled. And well, in reality, most autistic people I met aren't even like that. They're mostly normal people who just have some kind of disability that they need help with, like that autistic friend I mentioned just before. He needed some extra help on tests. He needed some things explained to him a little more because he couldn't really get it like most other people who don't have autism get. But again, despite that, he was fine with joking about his own autism. And you know what? Whatever. I know other people, both online and offline, who have autism and are fine with joking about their own autism. And you know what? Whatever. If they're fine with reinforcing the stereotype of their own condition, then I guess I can't stop them. I'm not here to police people and say what they can and can't joke about. I may find it stupid, sure, but I'm not here to say you can't joke about this certain thing because I don't control other people's lives. But me personally, I don't have that same sense of humor anymore. And take this as me going soft, whatever. I anticipate the potential SJW comments that I usually get on videos like this. And I don't really care at all. Again, joke about whatever you want. I'm not here to stop you, but it's just something that I don't like anymore, personally. It's something that I don't do anymore, I should say, rather. You may think this is me going soft, but for me, I personally see this as me maturing. Again, I don't. A lot of the things that I've said and done in 2017, I look back on with regrets, and I think that I was really stupid back then. Again, I say plenty of times that that was a really fun year and one of my favorite years, and I still stand by that, but Jesus Christ, I was such a moron back then. I know 2017 me would really hate me if we were to ever meet, but you know what? I take that as a good thing. If your past self hates your current self, then that's probably a sign that you've matured. In most cases, at least. I know in some cases people say that as a bad thing, but in this case, I see it as a good thing. You may say, but it's just a joke. But you have to be mindful of the kind of jokes you make at times to whoever you're telling a joke to. Think for a second before you tell the joke. Think, is this person really going to like the joke? Are they going to get deeply offended by this joke? And if they potentially could, then maybe it's best that I don't tell this joke. And what I find funny is whenever someone takes a rational approach like that and says something like that, sometimes they're shot down by this person who says, "Oh, this generation is so soft now. You can't make jokes anymore." I've seen that so much on the internet, and that in and of itself is stupid. And I plan on making a whole video about that, so I'm not really going to go in depth into that here. But whoever says that is a moron, and I'll leave it at that for now until I make that video. By the way, I'm trying not to say retard as much anymore as an insult. I'm trying to really tone it down with that as well, and also the gay jokes and such. I'm trying to, improve myself or go soft, as some people may say. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye bye.